Monday, Apple held their 2019 Worldwide Developers Conference, where they unveiled the latest versions of their major operating systems, including a couple surprises. In my last video, I covered the updates and improvements to the major platforms tvOS, watchOS, and iOS, alongside an all-new dedicated iPad OS with all the same features of iOS 13, but more desktop-class features as well that bring it closer in line to a Mac system. Now let's discuss the other major updates, starting with Apple's new version of macOS, dubbed macOS Catalina. With the major newsworthy thing coming out before the WWDC being iTunes, and how Apple is getting rid of it entirely. But that's not exactly true, as it's just splitting up into 3 separate apps with the same functionalities, including Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, and Apple TV. And if you do still need to sync your device with your computer, you can access that menu in the Finder window. Apple has leveraged their new podcast app to have a search function that allows you to search through the entire content of each podcast, so you can actually search for topics being discussed rather than just those in the title. And the Apple TV app will include 4K HDR playback support on Mac. Sidecar is an entirely new feature that pairs with your iPad, so that you can use your iPad as an external display, and even use Apple Pencil for input on your Mac. This is great functionality for creatives that like to use their iPad for more intricate functionality, while being able to pair it to the Mac software for more advanced functions. Apple's new Find My app will be replacing the Find My iPhone app, giving you access to your devices even when offline, by using a new feature that utilizes low-energy Bluetooth to ping nearby Apple devices and anonymously alert the cloud to your device's location. Which is great for a Mac in particular because it's the only Apple device that doesn't have an option for LTE support. An activation lock will also be coming to Macs with the T2 security chip, so if someone gets a hold of your Mac and tries to restore it, they can't get in without your iCloud information. macOS is also getting the new photo browser of iOS 13, as well as updates to the Safari Start page, and a Notes Gallery mode. And in a bid to get more Mac apps on the Mac App Store, Apple has created a new software functionality for developers called Project Catalyst that allows them to migrate iPad apps over to the Mac with very little effort on their part, so that they don't have to build an entirely new app from the ground up just to work on Mac. But a couple of the coolest things that they showed on stage was actually one update to ARKit with people occlusion, which allows people to move behind objects, and motion capture capabilities to map movements in real time. The developers of Minecraft actually came out on stage to show off these new features with their new title Minecraft Earth coming out this summer, putting you right in the world of Minecraft. And last but not least, there's a new accessibility feature across all platforms that allows for voice control throughout the entire system, mapping the interface with numbers and allowing you to call out commands to perform any function you need. But one of the biggest surprises of the event was the introduction of the all-new Mac Pro, Apple's most premium Mac computer, completely redesigned once again with a more classic tower profile, but an industrial flair like only Apple could do. Make no mistake, this is not meant for the everyday consumer market, rather built for professionals who want the best possible performance money can buy. Now, while the end design may remind some of a cheese grater, these lattice vents act as mini heat sinks to pull heat to the edges of the machine and allow optimal airflow for the 3 fans and 1 blower, a system Apple claims to be as quiet as the current iMac. All of these components are mounted to a new internal frame with ease of access via a locking mechanism on top, that allows for sliding off the entire casing, with the ability to swap and upgrade each component as needed across 8 PCI Express expansion slots, easily making this the most customizable Mac in the current lineup. The I/O card contains 2 of each USB 3, Thunderbolt 3, and 2 10 gigabit Ethernet ports, with 2 additional Thunderbolt 3 ports built into the top casing. This Mac behemoth is configurable up to a 28-core Intel Xeon processor, Intel's new line coming later this year, up to 1.5 terabytes of RAM, and 4 terabytes solid-state storage. Not only can you interchange existing components, but Apple is offering additional Pro modules, such as the MPX module, that can add up to 4 additional GPUs, via the addition of 2 of these modules. Or the Afterburner card that acts as a hardware accelerator, able to process up to 6 billion pixels per second, which translates up to 3 simultaneous streams of 8K ProRes video, or a whopping 12 streams of 4K ProRes video. All of this is powered by an impressive 1.4 kilowatt power supply. The Mac Pro base model will run $5,999 and up depending on configuration. But the Mac Pro wouldn't be complete without an equally powerful companion display. The Apple Pro Display XDR is a 32-inch 6K resolution Retina display that has been built for increased contrast and super accurate color representation. It contains a backlit array of 576 LEDs powered by 12 controllers with local dimming capability, able to achieve up to 1600 nits peak brightness and sustain full screen 1000 nits brightness indefinitely, lighting an LCD panel with such precision that the dynamic range is elevated to the extreme. And thus Apple claims XDR was born, overshadowing the now more conventional HDR capability. In order to efficiently dissipate heat from this LED array, the back casing has been engineered with the same heatsink lattice fins as the Mac Pro at nearly a 1:1 ratio. While the standard version of the Pro Display XDR incorporates an anti-reflective panel, Apple is offering an option that takes this one step further, with nano-scored glass that creates a matte texture for keeping reflectivity to a bare minimum. The major drawback of this display's presentation, however, was in the pricing model, which offers a VESA mount adapter or Apple's new Pro stand with precision tilting mechanism, separately, with no available stand or mounting option in the box. Not only that, but the Pro stand itself costs a whopping $1,000 on its own, with the Pro Display XDR coming in at $4,999, or $5,999 with the nano-textured glass option. Both the Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR will be available sometime in the fall. The Mac Pro certainly seems to be the ultimate Pro machine, built with function and adaptability in mind, and the Pro Display XDR is definitely a worthy companion with notable specs in its own right. This is the best of the best Apple can currently offer, and it should be treated as such, existing outside the realm of necessity for majority consumers. For the rest of us Mac owners, we still have macOS Catalina to look forward to, with many welcome improvements as well as new features to enhance the user experience. I'm particularly excited for the new Sidecar feature. Let me know your thoughts on the macOS Catalina updates and the all-new Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR in the comments down below, or anything from WWDC this year. While you're there, feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified when new videos come to this channel. Until next time, I'm SeanXTech.